the common oak tree, a prize in furniture making, as well as in flooring and cabinetry because of its durability, workability, and natural beauty. Reminds me of my friend Nick. When Wisconsin achieved statehood, it began chartering corporations to do more with oak than just furniture and cabinetry, but to build plank roads. Wisconsin allowed these corporations to charge a toll for their use, hoping to provide more reliable transportation in a state with very few roads. Plank roads were built of oak planks, which outlasted softer woods. 8-foot-long planks, 2 or more inches thick. Doesn't remind me of my friend Nick. Laid across 2 oak rails, 8 feet apart and 4 inches square, provided a smooth surface for wagons, and depending on weather conditions, were safe for the animals pulling them. But
Sounding familiar now.
even oak wore under heavy loads and weather, and maintenance costs drove many plank road companies out of business.
Oh.
The Watertown Plank Road between Milwaukee and Watertown was one of the few plank roads that was a success, if only briefly. It was a success for long enough to create its own brewery in the area. Plank Road Brewery Beers was a division of the Miller Brewery, named for the 19th century name for West State Street in Milwaukee, which was formerly known for its full length outside Milwaukee as the Watertown Plank Road. And this is where the main Miller Brewery has been located since its founding. And much like its eponymous namesake, the humble Plank Road, it creates 3 beers, many of which have faded from into obscurity.
Much like
the Plank Road, Nick. The first beer they've created was Red Dog, a popular beer during the mid to late 1990s. It faded into near obscurity near the start of the 21st century. However, since 2005, it has been returning to stores. And the next beer, the beer we drink on the very podcast you listened to today, also fading into obscurity.
Wow.
An ice lager at 5.5% alcohol by volume, and the winner of the 2003 and 2007 gold medals for American Style Specialty Lager at the Great American Beer Festival. Today on the show, Nick and I are going to try Icehouse.
What an intro, Joe. Right off the dome there. Cheers.
3 tabs is all it took.
A 3-tab start.
A 3-tab intro is it's
tight.
About as efficient as I can create.
Yeah, it's tight.
Of an intro. Ooh, what do you think about that first taste?
Very light, very nondescript.
I found it off-putting.
Really?
Yeah, it's no good so far.
Yeah, maybe you got a bad one, but mine is very nondescript.
Tastes like an oak plank. Tastes like sawdust a bit.
I mean, it's a little bit like, what is it, Red Dog? Is that the beer?
Red Dog, yeah. It's the only other one Plank Brewing Company created.
Is known for.
They also create, I forgot to name the third one, that is Icehouse Edge, which is an ice lager / malt liquor at 8.0% alcohol by volume. And this was introduced in June of 2012.
I'm on the edge, 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 the edge.
Yeah, so Icehouse Edge. I'm on 2012, that came out. 8%.
Oh, wow. So recently they released a beer. Somewhat recently.
Yes, they're innovating.
Because Icehouse is an old beer.
It's an old boy.
Since 1855, this says.
Yeah.
Nearly 7 years after Wisconsin became a state, mind you.
When they were laying down plank roads. Ice brewed for a bolder taste. So you were doing a little bit of research.
Mm-hmm.
And you were digging up what ice beers are. Do you still have that up, or do I have to fucking Google it?
I can pull the tab. I'll pull the tab.
Yeah, I know you'll pull the tab.
Introduced in 1993.
Your little cork.
This says Icehouse.
I think when you were introduced just before 1993.
It was. In much the same way. With the wooden plank and oaken plank.
What?
It's America's first domestically brewed ice beer. Icehouse.
The penis? Your dad's?
No.
What do you mean
we don't
by
talk about such things.
All right, go ahead.
Icehouse is brewed below freezing, resulting in the formation of actual ice crystals to deliver a bold, never watered down taste. So I think the theory is that the ice crystals that form do something to smooth out the taste of the beer.
Actual ice crystals, man.
Actual ice crystals. Now that's marketing copy.
Not
So
fake
this
ice
is
crystals.
this is basically what Coors Light does now, right? Their whole thing is like, you know, filtered, brewed,
Cold filtered.
Yeah.
Which
Cold.
as far as I understand, from anybody who knows anything about beer, that's every beer. So the marketing is just kind of
Right.
it's a useless thing to say.
So maybe an ice beer is unique in that it is actually frozen to an extent at some point in the brewing process.
Ostensibly changes the flavor. Now this is 5.5% alcohol, so it's higher than a
Right, about 1% higher than a traditional light beer.
and most ice beers are like that, right? Bud Ice, Natty Ice.
I think so. Because that's also another thing I read is that they said it gooses the alcohol content a bit, which could mean one of two things. Either the freezing process somehow does actually, the cops are coming to get us.
I was going to say, are they going to arrest
throw
us? Or
in
is
the
that an
bin,
ambulance
'cause
coming to get us?
We're on to the secret of ice beer.
Oh,
See?
yeah, they shut it right down.
So that means one of two
You talk
things.
about goosing the alcohol
We're
content.
goosing the alcohol content. Icing, freezing it could do one of two things. Could it
Name them.
freezing the beer at some point could actually increase the alcohol content in some way, or
Okay.
freezing they could just mean freezing it smooths out the flavor so that they've already brewed it with a higher alcohol content, but you can't taste it because the ice has smoothed it
I
out.
see.
I'm assuming they mean the second one,
Yeah, I
knowing
have to
nothing
assume
about the brewing process myself.
so. How did you learn about these two options even? Did you make them up?
I thought them up in my big brain,
Oh,
Joe.
so you just made it all up. Okay.
I have thought out every scenario that could possibly be, and that ever was, and that ever shall be.
How do I die?
You don't want to know.
Today? Yeah, I don't like it though at all. I mean,
Okay.
so we could say all these nice things about it. It also is like a mass-produced. You know, it's a cheap beer. You come out and say
It's
it.
certainly a cheap beer. Here, let me pour some in our blueberry bowl here.
What are you doing?
Drink some of that. I just
No.
want to make sure you don't have a bad can there.
Well,
Because this is not
blueberry
bad
juice
to
in
me.
it.
This is not bad. Well, then I'll get you a shot glass. Just drink it and tell me what you think.
This sucks.
Joey was pawing blueberries out of this bowl, but minutes before the recording started, now he's sipping a beer out of it. What do you
Well,
think?
that tastes better. It tastes like it's mixed with blueberries. This is
Okay, well,
fucking
let me get a-
horseshit.
let me get a
you
shot.
try it. Don't leave me at the mic alone.
Well, I didn't want to touch it. We can't be doing mouth stuff, Joe. It's not normal time.
Now he says. Now when we're on air and we're recording, he tells me we can't be doing mouse stuff.
All right.
Now
pouring
I have
Joe
a little
shot.
Sake glass.
Sake glass.
This is from it's the Northwest Tea Festival. How was the Northwest Tea Festival?
I don't
Did
think
you
I went.
attend?
I think that was only our mutual friend Eric.
Ah.
Does it taste the same as
It
yours?
does taste a little bit better than mine.
Okay.
Now, where did you
Well,
get
now
that
I
shot
wanna-
glass?
yeah,
now
I
you go
wanna
get
taste
another
it.
one. Nick's about now. Nick is up. We're in Nick's apartment. It sounds like shit because we're being very safe, boys. And here, I'm going to pour you a little bit of mine.
All right.
Now, if there's variance in here, do I have botulism from this?
Botulism. You're not under 2 years old, at least physically, so you should be okay.
I
Got
don't
him.
have any idea what you're saying.
I think
fuck are you
botulism
talking
is only a real threat if you're like an infant.
Child? I thought people died like you get like a nacho, like a Tostitos nacho cheese can from the gas station, and it's dented. Now you eat it, you get botulism. You turn over on Highway 41,
I don't think
right
that's
behind the
true.
wheel as you take your dip of your nacho. Crank the wheel hard to the left, flip over the median.
I think yours is worse than mine.
It is, isn't
Yeah,
it?
in a
Yours is better.
head-to-head, yeah, mine's
the
much
fuck is
smoother.
that? So we've bounced between my description of botulism and our comparison of two beers. This is a cold cans first. This is a botched beer.
No, we've never. Have we
Rotten.
ever swapped cans before when there's been some discrepancy on how we're receiving the beer? I don't know if we've ever done this much scientific analysis.
This is fascinating. Right? This comes from the same six pack. It's not like one of
It
them
is,
sat
yeah.
in the sun or anything like that.
Yep.
This is the exact same treatment. This was on our camping trip.
Right, which we'll get into. I will say on that point, we
Uh-oh.
put 2 ice houses in the cooler, and then 4 of them sat out of the cooler.
Oh shit!
So this could be that.
absolutely could be that.
Sat in a
hot
100
car.
degree plus car for 3 days.
Okay, so Nick and I took a to give some
A
context.
little cold cans retreat.
We took a cold cans retreat. We had to go out and be existential.
Hmm.
We looked at the stars. We went to the southeast corner of Washington, along the Columbia River.
Yep.
Beautiful area.
Right on the border of Oregon and Washington.
Right by the Dalles where the Rajneeshi cult formed.
So that is the city where it was near?
Near the Dalles,
Okay.
nearest to the Dalles. Anyway, beautiful, but basically the desert, so it was very hot. And apparently 2 of these ice houses went into the cooler. 4 of them went into the car, as Nick just explained. We didn't drink any of them, so all 6 were in the cooler.
We had talked about recording an episode while we were camping, but we were too busy enjoying it to do this burden of recording
We got a bit,
podcast.
We got a bit inebriated.
No.
I'm going to say it out here. We got a bit inebriated.
We did. We were drinking kind of a melange of things on the trip.
Wow. A melange of Bud Light Lime. So we came to the conclusion that Bud Light Lime is so much better than even we gave it credit for, and it's very high on the cold cans. It deserves to be like a top 5 beer. Seriously, Bud Light Lime is so fucking good.
If the whole premise of our show is that when a beer is contextually good, then Bud Light Lime probably is at least cream of the crop. If not, like at the top of the cream.
Right. Nick and I were beached up on
Bud Light Lime is their 73 beer.
Oh my goodness.
It's in the deplorables.
It needs to go 70 spots higher.
I got a new hop.
Good Lord, really? We gave in to thinking that we're not supposed to like it.
Probably.
Also, that was an episode that you can't listen to. So if you were curious, if you're curious about what Bud Light Lime actually is, technically we have not figured out how to get it off the computer. So it is on there, but it's illegal to listen to it. So don't press play on it. Maybe that was part of it.
That may have been
the concept episode.
Actually, in studio together.
It was one of the few times we did a remote podcast that you cannot listen to, listeners.
It was mandatory. But sorry, you were giving the listeners some stuff on our trip.
Like 2 bloated whales that wash up to the beach and start rotting. We were on 2 tubes midday after a big hike, and we were drilling beers. Let's be frank.
Also, I got a terrible sunburn on the big toe of my right foot. I forgot to get sunscreen on it. It's itched so bad.
This is my whole take with sunscreen. It stresses me out.
It's tough.
Because you don't know where you did and didn't get. I hate that.
That's why Zuckerberg's got the white stuff all over his face.
Like 3 inches of sunscreen.
Yeah.
I like that spray kind of helps that.
Sure.
Even then, you got to rub everywhere and you might forget where to rub. But when you just give a little puddle into your hand, and then you're just kind of nobody has a scientific method for applying sunscreen. You just kind of you slap it on your chest or something, and then you're just kind of rubbing your titties and you rub your shoulders and stuff. But there's no way you get every square inch, and you always end up
to get your back, perhaps.
Sure, and you always end up as soon as you said that, the siren started going again. What is that? Is that a fire truck this time?
Fire trucks are blazing down this street at all hours of the day. This is a main arterial from the downtown.
Say your address.
I will not.
Hold on. We're going to have to let this one go. Oh.
So there must be something happening out there. That went to the same spot.
It's almost as if they know we're recording. Oh, God. The Cold Cans boys are up there recording.
Yep. This is the forbidden episode.
But no, you never get all the sunscreen. That's my problem. I'd rather put none on.
Drag sunscreen. Sunscreen
sucks. You get botulism from it too. If you get a rotten canister.
I think also part of the problem was we were just going into the camping trip talking about we were drinking.
But why?
Drilling beers on the tubes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Part of the sunscreen, the thing I had was like a sport one, and it was clear application. So it didn't even go on white.
Had a very...
So you couldn't even see...
Don't what?
Don't give where the backstory of that one went. Okay, we're drilling beers on the tubes. Yeah. We tell about our
and
system
squirts
for
this sort of off-white.
Come
on. Substance into my head. He's like, "This is my sunscreen."
Come on.
That's what it was. It was on my skin.
Joey claimed it was my seed that I had collected into a bottle.
It stunk.
It did not stink. It's a new formulation from the Coppertone Company that's
new
waterproof and doesn't get sticky. No stick.
Okay.
No stick, no ick.
If coworkers, I told you to log off if you've logged on to this podcast. What were we fucking... Okay, so we were like beach whales out there in the lake. And we're drinking, and nothing tasted better than a Bud Light Lime. We cracked Bud Light Limes.
It's true.
And it was so perfect. It was, 90 and sunny, desert part of the state. And it was the most... we had done a hike, so we were a little gassed up. Tired out. And then Bud Light Limes got us gassed up. And we floated out there, and truly nothing better. We also had some Busch Lights. This is all kind of research, preparatory
got a 30
work.
rack, 30 rack Busch Light.
30 rack of Busch Lights, some preparatory work for eventual power hour that we'll do. And man,
we're always grinding, man. We're always working.
Always on our grind. Should we drop our little bit of news?
No, keep going on your story. We'll do it later.
It felt with on the grind.
Teaser.
A little bit of teaser. We have our segment. We have a segment. I just remembered. We have one we came up with on the trip. We'll do it on this podcast. So anyway, we're on the Cold Cans retreat. We're beached up. Bud Light Lime is great. I don't have that much more. I mean, we had Busch Lights.
It was fun in the tubes because it was so windy in this area. This is the Columbia River Gorge, so wind is whipping through it. For some reason, who could explain it? I can't.
Certainly.
But minimum of 15 mile per hour winds at minimum, and then gusts up to probably 30, 40.
Yeah.
And so we're getting... The first time I got into my tube and got in the water, you were still on the shore, and I was facing away from the shore. And then I look back, and I'm like 100 yards offshore
he's
already.
halfway
and
out
you're
the
like,
lake.
Nick, where are you going? And I'm like, oh, yeah, shit, I got to paddle back.
So he's paddling.
So then Joey had a good idea. There's a rope to the
the
two tubes. And then there was a huge rock on the shore. And so we tied the rope to the rock, bit of an anchor.
Anchor.fm. Yeah.
Folks, are you looking to start your own podcast? But it worked perfectly.
It did.
We
just
sat
like
there.
Anchor.fm does if you were looking to start your own podcast. Monetized with no minimum listenership.
Yes.
It worked great. We beat, that's why I described us as the little beach whales. We got burnt, drank some beers, pulled ourselves in, sat under the stars.
Yeah.
Waxed
Beautiful.
about life.
Beautiful
Poetic
stars.
about life. Maybe we
Got a fire burning. That's important.
Had a fire burning. Life was good. So it was a great camping trip. Where are we going with that? I had segments.
All the beers we drank. So we did have more than just Busch Light and Bud Light Lime. We also had some red wine that we
locally sourced red wine.
Locally sourced red wine and a bag of white wine.
The opposite of locally sourced red wine.
And you had a
bag of
fun
white wine.
Australian anecdote for this.
Yeah, they called bags of wine goon.
Oh, so it's any bag of wine. It's not just white wine.
Doesn't have to be white wine.
Okay.
A bag of goon. And
I like it.
You pull it out of the box and you turn the nozzle and you gut it. I'm actually going to visit my Aussie friend. Shout out to Matt if for some reason you're still listening this weekend. And he promised that we'll be drinking bags of goon on him. So
nice.
That's very nice. But that got me very hungover. I was very cobweb boy.
Yeah, we
the next
almost
day.
killed that whole bag of goon.
Yeah. Hey, we had a nice night. We won't get into all the
nice.
conversations we had, but we got deep. No mouth stuff, though. Nick lives by what he
forbade
preaches.
it. Only with masks on. If masks on, then we do mouth stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It has an interesting twist. Mm-hmm. It's like when you're kind of just dry humping as kids, you know?
I loved that. Still think about that all the time.
Can we get to our fucking segment?
Joe, let's do it.
This is The Late Show with Stephen Cold Beer. I don't know what his fucking music is. God damn it. What is his band? Could have riffed on that. Now, Nick came up with Stephen Cold Beer.
I did, thank you
which
for
is very good.
Proper attribution.
And then we also had Jay Wino instead of Jay Leno.
Yeah.
Less good.
Oh, yeah, Jean Baptiste.
John Baptiste.
Is
John Baptiste.
John Bartiste. It could be beer taste.
John Beer Taste. This is Stephen Cold Beer with John Beer Taste. This is where ostensibly we were going to do a monologue about.
That's right. We only had
news.
the premise without any of the content.
Did you guys hear about the news about COVID? That's thanks, John. COVID, that's a bad one, and you shouldn't vote. You should vote for Joe Biden. But the biggest news. The biggest news of the day is that I heard Cold Cans Media LLC is going through a... Yeah, drumroll please. Is going through a rebrand. That means new merch, folks. And it also means a new logo and potentially even a new song, a new intro music. And that's what it will be exactly. Nick, what do you think? Now I'm breaking out of character. I'm done with Stephen Cold Beer.
I love Stephen Cold Beer.
That was a great idea. You love it because you came up with it.
Yes.
Honestly, came up with John Beer Taste, too, and that was good. I
came up with Jay Wino.
You did? You 3 for 3'd it?
Yeah. Sorry.
That's a shame.
That's
I feel
okay.
like I have
You're
more
more
of the
of a-
news anchor stuff, though. No, tell me what I'm more of. Say it out loud.
I love our new merch. I love the new logo.
Say what you think I'm more of.
Joe, you're
Like a play-by-play
you're an
guy?
integral part of the show.
I'm the one that drives the
your color
progression of the show.
commentary.
No, you are with shit like Stephen Cold Beer and John Beer Taste. I drive the momentum of the show.
Well, yeah, but
I
you
do the
talk too
segments.
much to not be the play-by-play guy.
No, it means I am the play-by-play guy, not the
That's
color
what I'm
guy.
saying.
No,
Oh,
you
did
said
I
was the
say?
color
I said
guy.
you're the color guy.
You pencil dick piece of shit.
Joey and I have had a lot of fun calling each other. It started with phone calls because Joey turned into a. He calls now all the time.
I don't text anymore. I'm
No
a call
texting.
guy.
He's a call guy.
Yeah.
And then it became like when you answer the phone, you're very terse. Like you have 5 seconds to talk to me, you pencil dick. Go.
It is fun.
It's
a lot of fun.
It is.
And you are a pencil dick piece of
Try
shit.
it with your friends at home.
It's such an aggressive thing to call someone. It's
Also something I started.
come on. I have good things.
You do. Of course you do. You did come up with a lot of the news anchors.
Thank you. So in that place, I was a color commentator. But I'm certainly the play-by-play guy because I do all the fucking segments. I'm like, we got to do a segment now.
You do.
Because you have your pithy remarks and comments, which provide all the fun and flavor.
Come on.
Which one was the
I
straight
am the
man in
fan
Abbott
favorite.
and Costello?
I have no idea. That's a good question.
I feel like
That should
I'm
be a
Abbott.
Trivial Pursuit question. You're Abbott, yeah.
And you're Costello. Who's on first? And then I'm the one just saying like, no, it's who. Who is the name on first, and you get to be the one that's like, I didn't get it.
Launching our new segment, Brews on First. Joe, can you...
No, bruise on first doesn't really translate well.
No, it doesn't. We're not playing baseball. New merch. Let's get back to it.
Let's sell. I don't know.
My career depends on it. My 401k is in the shitter.
Thanks a lot, Obama. The Obama administration took us straight to the shitter. And now we're left dealing with COVID.
Stephen COVID.
Stephen COVID. That's not good.
Conspiracy. No, it's not. It's bad.
Bad.
Free association, baby. It's fun. We're having fun.
Are
Are we having fun yet? I just started watching Party Down.
Are you say it? Are we having fun yet? Party Down's great. All the liberals out in the West Coast.
No, okay. Here we go.
They're all out there doing free association, free basing, free association. Well, the rest of us are here thinking about COVID.
Joe,
Vote. You
sell
gotta
some merch.
Vote for Joe Biden.
You gotta
man.
vote with your dollars. And if it's me, I'm spending those dollars on Cold Cans merch.
ColdCansPodcast.com/merch. I don't even know if that works still. We're gonna
Probably live.
We did a redesign.
Yeah,
We're gonna-
that's the big news because we don't even actually have any merch yet.
Yes.
We're still internal discussions on that.
If you're looking for a good designer, Google Alex Brennan. He's an
right,
excellent designer. He's on freelancer.com. He helped us out, and he'll help you out, too. No, but seriously,
AlexBrennan.fm.
it's just a shout out to our designer. He's fucking awesome. And we're going to soon have a new logo and new merch. There's not really much more to say about that, other than we're going to try to write our own intro music, because what we have right now is plainly illegal. And so we must change it.
That's true. We had a falling out with Sufjan Stevens, and he has threatened to revoke his implicit license that he has floated to us.
He didn't see it as an implicit license. We did.
And before we make our first $1 million off of Cool Cans merch,
Right.
we have to settle this little dispute. Our lawyers are nodding.
Our lawyers are nodding. I do actually think it'd be a great shirt idea to have Our Lawyers Are Nodding shirt. What do you think?
That's fun.
It's pretty fun, huh?
We have enough cultural panache that we can put a phrase from our shitty podcast on a shirt.
Hey,
yeah, let's do
cultural
it.
panache. We're worried about Sufjan Stevens giving us a cease and desist. Sufjan cease and desist.
No.
Sufjan
You got to go off of Sue.
Sufjan cease and assist. Sufjan Stevens assistant. Sufjan Stevens Sufjan. No, let me get it out. I think I have it. Sufjan Stevens cease and desist.
No.
That worked.
Why? All you
What do you
did was
mean, why?
throw cease and desist on the
There's
end.
alliteration.
You
and
already
fun.
said Stevens.
Sufjan Stevens cease and desist.
So you're not trying to
I'm
make it
just
his name.
mashing them together. I'm not
Okay.
trying to make it his name. I don't have to do everything around here. How's the Icehouse going down?
I still enjoy this one, honestly. I think if you would have ice filtered that one like I did, you would have been enjoying it as well.
Honestly, yeah, truly. And we should both be honest with our listeners. We both said honestly in the last 5 seconds.
I would love to be honest with our listeners.
Icehouse is bad. It's rotten. Tastes rotten. Rancid. So I can't give it a glowing review, but maybe it's our own fault
That's
for
too bad. Yeah.
putting it in a 100-degree vehicle. I might have to, for the first time ever, recuse myself.
Wow.
Much like Attorney
Sessions.
General Jeff Sessions, I might have to recuse myself of this investigation.
Because you had no involvement in it.
None whatsoever. I'm the Anthony Barr of Icehouse Reviews. No,
Anthony
I guess you...
Barr. Bill Barr.
Bill Barr? Why did I say Anthony Barr? Is he the
That's a linebacker
defensive
for the
Vikings.
Vikings who broke Aaron Rodgers' collarbone.
But I like that you followed my train of thought. That's kind of fun. Last segment.
We're freebasing here, baby. We're following. We're floating.
We have ourselves a Parable of Terrible.
Oh, yeah. Let me get a little pick.
And this came from
Take a
the
little
fucking...
pick. Take a little pick. We also had a fun. Do you want to tell the listeners about that one?
That one I came up with.
Yeah.
So instead of... what is
Take
it?
a little trip is the
Yeah,
actual
so if you're a dad or something, and I'm looking at you at Curly Nose or whatever your Twitter handle
Oh, yeah.
is.
I don't know what his is.
And
J.O.
at J.O. knows. Now
But
it's
he
at
changed
Just
it.
Oric.
Yeah, yeah.
Looking at all the dads out there. Shout out to the dads. Dads and Grads month is past, but I'm still giving you a shout out. Instead of, when you get up to pee, you should say, you know what? I gotta take a little trip. Take a little trip. Take a little trip to pee.
Yeah.
Isn't that fun?
Or if you're a crass dad, you can say, take a little piss. Take a little piss. Take a little piss with me. Because you want the
you're
kids to
inviting
go.
the kid-
Well, you want the kids to go before you go on the
Nick.
trip. You want them to clear their bladder.
But not with you.
Well, you're going to go to supervise.
All right.
I said if you're a crass dad.
You're going to be the crass
I'm going to be
dad?
a crass dad.
Is that going to be your Instagram handle?
I'm going to be
At crass dad.
Crass Dad's Keep. Like Craster's Keep.
Two great things to associate yourself as. Craster from Game of Thrones and being a crass dad. Yeah, honestly, it was a little Craster-esque, your suggestion of bringing the kids. All right. Shut up. We're going to do this thing. We have ourselves a Parable or Terrible. And this is a Lay's Flavor Icons.
Yes.
This is a campaign going on.
Iconic.
Now, there are... I can't even see. Hold on.
Joe's eyes are bad. Joe, let me get your
No, I'm
readers.
good. I got it.
Let me get your readers.
I don't need my cheaters. I got 4 bags in the Flavor Icon series. Now, this is a series of 4 different bags, if you will. Universe is like a bag. The first is kettle-cooked New York-style pizza. So you can have New York-style pizza.
Oh,
Than
the chips
regular.
are kettle cooked.
The chips are...
Okay.
The next one is Lay's Classic, and it is Nashville Hot Chicken. Mm-hmm. And the third one is Lay's Classic. It's Philly cheesesteak.
Yep.
And the fourth one, for some reason that's basically off the wall, is Carnitas Street Taco, flavored by El Torito Mexican Restaurant in Marina del Rey, California. So El Torito is a restaurant that makes Carnitas Street Taco, and on the back it says, Inspired by the dish from El Torito that has everyone in Los Angeles talking. Here's a taste of their Carnitas Street tacos. Now, Los Angeles is truly the city of stars, where the stars come out to play.
Yeah, we thought the stars were out to play on our camping trip. Well, wait till you go to Los Angeles.
Now, folks, if you've never been to Los Angeles, what it is you'll go there. It's where the stars come out to play. The stars. So let's have this. Everyone in Los Angeles is currently talking about this.
Yes, and essentially Lay's.
Dax Shepard. They're all talking about these chips. Or no, they're talking about that restaurant.
Yeah, El Torito.
El Torito.
Soon they'll be talking about Lay's.
In Marina Del Rey. And what they've done here is they've distilled the Carnitas Street taco into its purest, most base flavor, which is a generic powder that goes on a Lay's wavy chip.
Now, we talked about this on our camping trip. This was a camping trip purchase. Because this plays into what I love is like a novelty thing in the grocery store. They're basically, Lay's is getting into that. They've been into it for a while, actually. Like similar to how Oreo does like a million different flavors. They got weird chips.
Nick will spend like an hour in the grocery store searching out novelty things that taste like shit.
No, that's the thing. The novelty things are always on display because they're a hot item. You don't have to, It is fun, but we did talk about how food scientists have seemed to boil down every possible flavor into a powder that can be applied to anything.
Distressingly like anything.
Yes, and that's how I feel about these chips. They do taste like a carnitas, like a smoked carnitas taco to me.
But when you boil down a taste without any of the texture, any of the heat,
of course,
into something like this, it tastes like if you ever grab a little kibble of dog food. This tastes like dog food.
Oh, really?
Yes. Tastes exactly like dog food. There's some generic flavor there.
Huh.
I don't like this at all.
It's like dog food?
Dog food. Dog shit. No, dog food.
Coffee and coffee out. Dog food become dog shit. Now I am become dog shit. I disagree that it tastes like dog shit.
Like dog,
why is this bag entirely gone if these taste like dog food? Riddle me that, Joe.
You and I ate it all. Fine, I had a little bit more lunch today. I needed a side. I had some chickpea gyros for lunch, and I needed a side. And I had these.
Need a little something, a little cheater.
And they taste like dog food, and I kept eating it. Much like I do with dog food.
I mean, you're totally right about when you separate the texture of the carnitas taco from the flavor, it's not the same thing at all.
Yeah.
But they do capture that on that chip. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it does taste like that.
Fair, but
then
I
when
find
you're
that
crunching into it, I do as well. I think I would never buy these again.
Yeah, the combination of this in my lukewarm, rancid Icehouse is not a parable for me. This is one of my few terribles.
We can throw it out, yeah.
Okay.
Well, you want to do the second one?
We did the fucking segment. I was going to save the second one in case we did a back-to-back, but if we're not going to do it, we might as well double up.
I don't know. How are you feeling? It's 9:08 p.m.
Are we leaving this in?
Yeah.
It's a coin flip. Let's not do the second one to give ourselves the opportunity.
Okay, we could save it.
Much like opportunity, that's how Brett Favre used to say it. Big Trump guy.
Opportunity. This new cellular phone device gives me the opportunity to sexually harass sideline reporters.
Oh, no. Coppertone wristbands give me the opportunity to play my Wrangler jeans with my friends in the backyard in a wheat field. My multiracial group of friends, 20 years younger than me, run routes in the wheat field. It gives me the opportunity to throw a generic football with no Spalding or Wilson brand on it whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's my Brett Favre.
That's pretty good.
Remember Brett Carve?
Oh, it happened in this very same apartment.
Oh, it did. This was the Brett Carve episode.
Uh-huh.
Hi, I don't know how to do Brett Carve.
I couldn't even, begin to guess.
I don't ever want to
listen to it. If someone put a gun to my head and said, you're going to have to be friends with Joy Glide for the rest of your life if you don't come up with the Brett Carve voice, I couldn't do it.
Why did the have to be friends with thing have to come into play? He already has a gun to your head. The stakes are already high.
It's a little twist. It's a little twist on your common this or that scenario. I gave it to you, and throwing my co-host under the bus in the process.
We were having fun. We were jostling, and now we're not. Now we're not having any fun anymore. It's not fun when it's this hot. All right, should we get to the BA score?
Let's do it, Joe.
How many minutes have we been in?
I love you, Joe.
I love you too.
This is minute 35.
It feels like it's been an hour and a half.
Doesn't it? Yeah. I hate every minute with you is a lifetime. All right. Icehouse on Beer Advocate has a 51 or awful.
Or awful? That's not awful.
Right? It's not. Worse. Yeah, it's not as low as it could be.
Right. Well, it's literally awful. Read it.
I'm trying to. Here we go. Real Johnny Hobo from Maryland.
I feel like we've read Real Johnny Hobo before.
We may have.
We said it's problematic, the hobo name.
Oh, did we? He also has a King of the Hill, a Recess. He's got the big guy from Recess as his.
What was that guy's name?
I forget.
I don't want to look it up.
The large man. He says, the ice beer movement of the 1990s may be dead. But if you're a fan of the ice series of beer, there's a good reason to be, and Icehouse is where it all started. Now a part of the Molson Miller Coors portfolio of beers, this is a solid American beer typically sold as sub-premium product pricing. But is it bad? No.
Ooh.
If you're looking for an adjunct lager, then this would have a very good choice.
Wow.
This is also, something's going on with the syntax here, but this is well-rounded with easy, I don't know if I use syntax there correctly, but the wording here is off. This is well-rounded with syntax. Easy drinkability and a bit higher alcohol per volume beer with no a slight alcohol taste in the finish. I think that's true of mine. I don't think it tastes like
it's not bad.
Boozy.
I have to recuse.
Yeah, he or she, they round out by saying it's not bad.
Okay.
2.58 out of 5, which would make it seem bad.
Well, mediocre. I mean,
it's right along with the 50 out of 100.
Which I guess, like, from the couple sips I had of yours, is about right. I just don't see any reason why you'd pick this up. Price point, I guess.
Yeah.
But you can get stuff close enough that's just much better than this.
Mm-hmm.
That it just doesn't have much of a home on the market.
No.
But it is 5.5, so you're going to pack a little bit of a punch. If you want to get drunk off 2, then pick it up. And I get it. I have to recuse myself, and I'm going to go buck. I'm going to go buck wild. I'm going to I'm going to get out of the 3-2-1 game. I'm going to tell you my ranking because it means nothing.
Joey.
My ranking means nothing.
Joey.
Nothing
Why
means anything.
Why is that different from any episode? Sorry, give me your ranking.
91.
Wow.
Between Beck's and Bud Ice.
Okay.
It's better than Bud Ice. And I have a rotten one, and it's better than Bud Ice. But I wouldn't pick it up over fucking anything above it.
So remember this.
Awful.
And this is an alternative that we don't have to rank necessarily, right? Like, though I think it's worthy.
Good point,
it's worthy of a rank, just because this is the first time I've ever had this beer. But I had never had Bud Ice before that. Bud Light Orange was bad. I had never had that, and would never have it again.
God, yeah, Olympia's down there. I revise.
Uh-oh.
It's not in the rankings.
Not in the rankings.
But again, I've recused myself. So what I say means nothing. Because this thing was rotten, and I didn't like it.
This doesn't have, like, iconic branding. Like, it's fine, but it's not like a Rainier or Olympia type where it's Rainier's not a shit beer. Olympia's a shit beer, but has iconic branding.
Yeah.
So it has a place.
Yeah, they
you would
tried to
never
update
pick this up. Yeah, you would never pick this up. I don't drive with the backstory at all. It's not that impressive or anything.
To your point, they didn't keep the retro branding. They're like, this is a 2002 brand, and it's also shitty. Like, it's like if I was learning how to do graphic design, I'd make this. This is
right.
Dog
it's
shit.
Just text. Yeah, it's all caps text.
It's
That's
awful.
all it is.
But it is like bold, so you'll see it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, keep going. Past the branding.
All this is to say that I agree that it doesn't need to be ranked. It's a ho-hum beer. We did pick it up on our camping trip, which was nice, but we didn't drink it on the camping trip. We were drinking this in a tent on our camping trip.
Oh.
We probably would have ranked it, though. It would have been nicer.
Because of circumstance.
Right.
But we're sitting in your lovely apartment. The sun's going down. It's a lovely circumstance here, and this beer just tastes like shit.
All right. I do think you got a bad one for what it's worth.
I did.
But that doesn't mean we have to really excuse it.
But you, having had a good one, you're still saying...
Yeah, I think taste-wise it's fine, but it's just not remarkable enough to get me to go in and change the rankings on coldcanspodcast.com/rankings.
Wow. And I don't want to either. I'll be thrilled when this episode comes out and I realize I don't have to update the website, neither do you.
We'll leave it off. that's all we have for today.
Look for our new branding. And that's it.